Have you ever wondered what secrets a small town may hide? Picture a place where the sun seems to shine a little brighter, the grass appears greener, and the air is filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. This is the kind of town where neighbors aren't just acquaintances, but friends, where doors are left unlocked and laughter echoes down the streets. A place that seems almost too perfect, too serene. This town, with its picturesque landscapes and friendly faces, was the setting for a tale that would shatter its tranquility. The community, once bound by trust and camaraderie, was soon to be enveloped in a veil of suspicion and fear, the kind of fear that creeps in when the sun sets and the night whispers of unspeakable horrors. This is the story of a murder that rocked the very foundations of this peaceful town, but beneath this peaceful facade, a sinister secret was about to unfold. In the heart of the town, a tragedy struck. The normal humdrum of life was interrupted by a chilling discovery. A well-loved resident, Olivia Green, was found lifeless in her own home. Olivia, a middle-aged woman known for her infectious laughter and warm heart, was the last person anyone expected to be at the center of such a horrific incident. Her home, a charming cottage on Rose Street, was one of the most inviting places in town, always open to friends and neighbors. But that day, it became a crime scene that sent shockwaves through the community. News of the incident spread like wildfire, casting a dark shadow over the usually peaceful town. The townspeople were in disbelief, struggling to comprehend the loss of a dear friend and the reality of a murderer in their midst. The close-knit community was filled with grief and fear, the laughter and camaraderie replaced by hushed whispers and suspicious glances. No one felt safe anymore. As the initial shock began to subside, the focus shifted to the suspects. Olivia, despite her friendly demeanor, had not been without her share of disagreements. The first name that surfaced was that of her estranged husband, Robert Green. Their split had been far from amicable, with allegations of infidelity and heated arguments that were public knowledge. The second suspect was a local handyman, Jake Thompson, who had been seen arguing with Olivia over a botched job just days before her demise. The final suspect was her business partner, Evelyn Smith, who had a known financial dispute with Olivia. Each suspect had a plausible motive, adding layers of complexity to the case. The town was on edge, everyone wondering who among them could be capable of such a heinous act. The tension was palpable, the fear real, and the need for justice more pressing than ever. As the sun set on the town, the day ended with more questions than answers. The tranquility of the town was shattered, and the hunt for the murderer began. The small town's police, unaccustomed to such horrific events, found themselves in the middle of a complex investigation. The scene, seemingly ordinary at first glance, held an intricate web of clues that were as confusing as they were revealing. The local police force, more used to resolving petty thefts than unraveling murder mysteries, found themselves wading through a sea of perplexing evidence. Their first lead, a blood-stained handkerchief found at the crime scene, led them on a wild goose chase that ended in a dead end. The handkerchief, it turned out, belonged to an innocent townsperson who had been nowhere near the scene of the crime. A series of such false leads and dead ends seemed to be the norm for this investigation, testing the patience of the small-town police force to its limits. Meanwhile, the townsfolk watched the investigation unfold with growing impatience and fear. Rumors began to circulate, casting shadows of suspicion on every corner. The peaceful small town was slowly transforming into a hotbed of fear and paranoia. Mothers held their children a little tighter, shopkeepers eyed their customers with suspicion, and friends turned into potential foes overnight. The police force, buckling under the pressure, continued their tireless search for the perpetrator. They sifted through mountains of evidence, questioned countless suspects, and followed every possible lead, but to no avail. With no clear suspect and a town on edge, the case seemed to be growing cold. Months passed, and the case remained unsolved. Despite the tireless efforts of the local police, the murderer remains at large, casting a dark shadow over the once peaceful town. The townsfolk, now living in a constant state of unease, can't help but look over their shoulders, wondering if the person next to them could be the killer. The case file gathers dust, with every lead hitting a dead end. And so, the mystery continues, leaving us with the chilling question: who was the killer lurking in this peaceful small town?